Good morning, student. Today we will start our next topic, that is immediate factors. Means immediate factor of national movement. So by 1870s, the spirit of modern nationalism had taken deep root in the mind of the people. Means by the 1870s, the mind of the people will full of nationalism. Nationalism, हमें आज़ाद होना है. The policy of victory, Lord Lytton, intensified discontent against the British rule. है ना, जो विक्टोरी और लॉर्ड लॉन्टन थे उन्होंने बहुत सारे रूल्स पॉलिसीज ऐसे बनाई जो कि ब्रिटिश रूल के अगेंस्ट थे. He removed import duties on British goods, and they will remove the means import duties of the British good and levy the charges on the Indians good and rein the textile industries of India. ठीक है, which are there in India, and they opposed the duty of the British good. He made India pay for a war against Afghanistan. उन्होंने बोला कि नहीं, the Indians will have to pay the war charges which was fought against the Afghanistan. So this was again Lord Wellington means done a very wrong thing with the Indians. So in 1877, when India was suffered from a famine, a Lewis Empire rubber was held in Delhi. Means one assembly was held in Delhi. Okay, a large amount of money was wasted on it, and in that large amount of the Indian some amount was wasted in that. The Vernacular Press Act 1878 imposed restrictions on vernacular newspaper. Means one act is also passed by the Britishers that restrict the vernacular newspaper. The Arms Act 1878 forbids Indians from processing arms. Means this act is also passed by the Britishers which forbade to process arms to the Indians. Indians arms नहीं रख सकते थे. Both this act aroused the strong reaction from all society. Means Indians को बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा आ गया जब ये दोनों एक्ट उन्हें देखे, है ना. They will accrosed means गुस्से में आ गए. So these two acts play a vital role in immediate factors. This will play immediate factors why the nationalism feelings is there in Indians. Nextly, in the next topic, Albert Bill. Due to the Albert Bill also the main reason of controversy, that is in 1883 Lord Ripon's law member Sir Albert introduced one bill, later came to the Albert Bill. Means Lord Ripon has introduced one bill, that is Albert Bill. It has a provisions which give Indian judges the power to try cases involving Europeans. Means Indians के judges जो होते थे वो Europeans के cases को try करते थे, cases को सुनते थे. Immediately the whole European community was started an agitation opposing this bill. यूरोपियन ने बोला कि इंडियंस जजेस क्यों हमारे डिसीजंस लेंगे, सो दे स्टार्ट अपोजिंग दिस बिल. So these protests forced the government to stop this bill and accept the equality of the British government. So this bill was stopped. Our next topic, formation of political association. After 1850s, Indians began to form a political association. So Indians, after this immediate factor, they began the association for welfare. One of first such association was the British Indian Association, formed by this first association was formed by Sundarnath Banerjee in 1851. You have to remember this for MCQs. In 1852, Bombay Association was made. The Madras Native Association was also set up. Many associations were set up in after 1870s and to the 1880s. Included the Pune Savarjanik Sabha, the Indian Association, the Madras Mahajan Saja Sabha, and the Bombay Presidency Association. This association was made up by the Indians to oppose the British policies. So all the association formed were limited in both membership and agenda. This association having this similar agenda, है ना, एक ही agenda था, एक ही aim था. Most of their members were educated Indians belonging to the upper section of the society, and the members of this association belongs to the upper section of the section of the society because they are educated Indians. Educated Indians will part of this association. They sent petition requesting the government to reduce taxes and डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव प्रैक्टिस, डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव भेदभाव की जो प्रैक्टिस आप करते हैं उसको एंड कर दीजिए, टैक्सेस को रिड्यूस कर दीजिए, एंड द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म और चेंज कीजिए अपना एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को. सो दिस बिल हैविंग दिस क्लॉजेस give Indians a greater role in administration and give Indians some role in the administration because Britishers are not giving any role to the Indians. So This association was made for this funda, and their petition were ignored by the government. But their petition was ignored by the British government, and the activities of this association were also restricted in specific reason, and the activities are also restricted. The need for an all India association, which was mass based and the strong in putting up its demand, had been felt for a long time. So mass-based association was be demanded by the long time. So Sundarnath Banerjee brought people from all over the world for the first All India National Conference. Means this as leader was made and one association and called up all the conference held in Calcutta in 1883 to collect the Indians in one place, है ना, collect के Indian को to create the war against the Britishers. He convened another conference which was to be held in Calcutta. एक और association उन्हें conference held की in 1885. Means he conducted two conferences, one in 1883 and one in 1885, where he invited all the Indians all over the country. है ना, सारी countries से Indians को बुलाया. And in 1885, Indian National Congress was made by the Sundarnath Banerjee were busy in organizing this conference at Calcutta, and a retired British officer, Alan Octavin Hume, was called for the meeting in Bombay. A.O. Hume was first leader of the National Congress. He called in Bombay by the Sundarnath Banerjee. He called him, है ना, उनको बुलाया Calcutta के conference में. So he wanted that to create an association which would be under the supervision of the British and which would let the government know the demand of the Indian people. They wanted to create one association which was in the observation of the Britishers. कौन करा था? Britishers. He wanted to prevent another national wide outbreak like one took place in 1857 when more conference of one more outbreak he organized, that is in year 1857. So we can say that A.O. Hume, the picture is given of this person, was the first member of National Congress which was made by the Sundarnath Banerjee. So the meeting convened by A.O. Hume was held at Golaknath Tejpal Sanskrit College from 28 to 30 December 1885. One meeting was convened by गोलकदास तेजपाल संस्कृत कॉलेज यहाँ पे हेल्ड किया सुंदरनाथ बनर्जी ने in 1885. This became the Indian National Congress. Then Congress was made. It was attended by 72 delegates from all over the world. Means 72 delegates members were organized all over the countries, and they include such eminent leaders. Means बहुत सारे leaders को इन्होंने invite किया, सबसे ज़्यादा जो Indians के लिए जो बहुत ज़्यादा सोचते थे, that leaders is also invited like Umesh Chandra Banerjee, Dada Bhai Naroji, Purushottam Shah Mehta, Badruddin Taibi. Means these are the leaders which was invited in this assembly, and Subramanian Iyer. So these leaders were invited in this assembly. Okay, so you will go through this. Leaders' names were given that 72 delegates leaders were this. Some of these names are given in your book. So the Congress had very modest beginnings. Congress has begins, and it had its session in different parts of the India once a year, and they have one session of meetings once a year, एक साल में एक बार. For the first few years, many Englishmen were also involved in its activities. बहुत दिनों सालों तक बहुत सारे Englishmen will also involved, like Indira Gandhi, like Sonia Gandhi, all will be belonging from the Britishers. है ना, तो वो सब उस assembly के members थे. In earlier time, the main aim of the Congress were to bring together the leaders from all part of the country, एक साथ सबको लेके आना, and to discuss the problems related to the Indians. Second reason to make the Congress to form an action plan to get concession for British. है ना, वो एक्शन प्लान्स चाहते थे ब्रिटिशर्स से, अगर टॉर्चर करते तो कुछ एक्शन प्लान्स दे वांट. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, द मॉडरेट फेज. The moderate phase during the 20th century of the Congress, the moderate nationalists or the moderates dominated the leaders parties. सुंदरनाथ बनर्जी मीन्स मॉडरेट्स कौन उस कांग्रेस पार्टीज में इन्वॉल्व थे ड्यूरिंग 20th century? सुंदरनाथ बनर्जी, देशवर्षवा मेहता जी, गोपाल कृष्ण गोखले. दिस वॉज द इम्पॉर्टेंट मॉडरेट मीन्स who would take the part in the Congress. They were the moderate in their objectives and method. Means they will decide what the Congress have to do, what was the main agenda to make the Congress, they will do that. They believed in constitutional matter and in the matters of precision. They believed in constitutional matter, matter they have to follow the law system to make anything, and the matter which are applied in law only. They regularly send petitions and resolve petitions means cases to resolve the government asking for, means what was the things which was included in the Indian Congress: freedom of speech and expression, this was a constitutional right; expansion of welfare programs, promotion of education, recruitment of Indians to high post in the administration. So these were the provisions which was held in that assembly. More power for the legislative council, and more Indian members in this council will be there. Holding the civil service examination, that government jobs examination is there, not just only for the England's person, Britishers के लिए बस exams नहीं होंगे, Indians person will also take the part of that it. Change in the economic policy of the government which benefit the Indian industries also, means they want to change the policies of it, means Congress पहले Indians के लिए work ही करते थे, है ना, they work for the Indians. They want to include this as a constitutional right for everybody. A cut in military expenditure, military में जो cost लग रहा है armies में, क्योंकि Indians ही रहते तो उसके expenditure को cut करना, this was the main agenda of this assembly. Stopping the drain of Indian wealth to the Britain, और stop करना जो एक साथ सारे पैसे ब्रिटेन ने ले लिया है, to stop that drain of Indians wealth to goes to in the hands of the Britishers, सारा पैसा Britishers के पास ना जाए, they will try to do that. मतलब these are the things which Indian Congress try to remove from the society. This was, they want to include this as a law to protect the Indians. So these are the clauses which was made by the Congress.